Lions and Eagles, Sunday Night Football this week, week 11. A.J. Brown still with some comments that he's unhappy. It seems like every other week we're kind of having this conversation, sometimes after wins, sometimes after losses. Rod, A.J.'s unhappy. Eagles are 7-2. What's your take?
Yeah, I just don't know why it's so hard to get him the football. I mean, I sit back and I go back and I watch the Rams play, and even in the first drive, you see Sean McVay. He has 2 number 1 receivers with Puka and Devontae Adams. He's getting those guys the ball. He's throwing them quick outs and slants and hitch passes and things like that. And I played with Tom Brady and Randy Moss that year in 2007 when they put up all those records. And to me, it's up to the quarterback. Tom would come to the line of scrimmage. He would see Randy out there one-on-one, and he would get Randy the ball, a quick hitch, a slant, a bomb. He would change the entire play. And for me, it comes down to Jalen Hurts. He has to get more involved when it comes to that. He has to look out there and see that it's A.J. Brown against a nobody, and he has to get him the football. And I don't know why that's so hard for Jalen Hurts to do, or Nick Sirianni to see that. I would be upset too if I were A.J. Brown when I got a bum in front of me and they're not throwing me the football. Throw him the football. It'll open up things in the offense, and then Saquon Barkley will probably have a little bit more success, Coach.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like where Philadelphia is in their system and the design. It's not being executed right now because it should be very, very easy. Okay, you got a dynamic running back. You've got 2 great receivers, and you've got a big-time tight end. What is the defense going to do? What are they taking away? And whatever they take away, okay, we go the other way. And as a coach, you say to your guys, hey, it might not be your week this week because they're trying to take you away. But at some point, it's going to be your week, so just be patient. We had that situation. We had Ezra and James, Dallas Clark, Reggie Wayne, and Marvin Harrison. Pick your poison. And Peyton Manning's going to just sit there. Okay, you want to double the wide receivers? I'll throw the ball to the tight end. You want to gang up on the wide receivers and play nickel defense? I'll run the ball. So that you have the answers. Philly's got the answers. But when people say, I'm going to single A.J. Brown, I'm going to single Devontae Smith, and I'm going to gang up on Saquon Barkley, you should have a field day throwing the ball, and they really haven't so far.
And it almost seems like Jalen Hurts, he knows that, A.J. Brown wants the ball, and it's like, okay, he's just going about his business. I'm not going to allow that to distract us. It doesn't even seem like he's addressing the fact that A.J. Brown wants the ball. If I'm the quarterback and I know I have a stud like him at wide receiver, I'm feeding him the ball as much as I possibly can. I'm giving him hand signals. If I see like this week, they're going to have small cornerbacks on him. None of those guys can stick A.J. Brown. He should have anywhere from 7 to 10 targets this game coming up on Sunday night, without question, because nobody on that defense can defend him. But once again, it comes down to the head coach, and it comes down to the quarterback feeding him the football, and they just haven't been able to do it.
Well, you are so right. I can't wait to see how this plays out, because we know we've talked to Dan Campbell. We've seen Detroit. They play man coverage. That's what they thrive in. They've got some injuries in the secondary. So you're going to play man coverage with some backup guys in the lineup or some guys that aren't full speed. It shouldn't be that hard.
Coach, and you know what the Lions are going to do. They're going to play that man coverage, walk that safety up in Brian Branch, and have that extra guy in the box. And now AJ, it's sickening watching it, to have that level of talent at wide receiver and you don't even utilize it. It's like they have an air about themselves, an arrogance that, hey, we're just going to do what we do. We're not going to change anything. We're not going to make any special concessions. That's what you do. You make special concessions. You make adjustments. That's what you do as an offensive coordinator or as a quarterback. And I just don't know what's going on out in Philly, bro.
Well, we will see what happens, because I know Dan Campbell is going to go in and say, we're not going to let Saquon Barkley beat us. We're not going to let them run the ball. I'm going to put it in Jalen Hurts' hands and make him beat us. And we'll see what they do. But you're right. This should be a game where those wide receivers, they have opportunities. Now, will they come through? We'll see. But they're going to have opportunities.
Coach, stylistically, schematically, does Philly, this offense, remind you of anything? Like, Break down this offense. We hear people say it's too simple. It's not. Like, break down this offense for us.
I love it because it reminds. That's what we did in Indianapolis. Okay, we lined up. We came out. We didn't even huddle. We just lined up, and Peyton looked at the defense. What are you in? Are you trying to stop the run? Okay, I'm going to throw. I've got two great wide receivers. I'm going to hit one of them with the ball. Now you play your secondary deep, play your safeties deep. I'm going to hand the ball to Edgerrin James or Joseph Adai. It's not that hard. We would go to the line of scrimmage with 3 plays: a run to the right, run to the left, and a pass. And Peyton would just decide what we're going to do based on the defense. And some days, Rodney remembers this very well. We opened up the year in 2004, and we're playing them, and we went on a drive right down the field. We were in the same formation. They stayed in the same defense. Took away our wide receivers. We ran 14 belly 8 times in a row. Went down the field. Edgerrin James fumbled, but that was the defense they showed us. It was run the ball. And they said they won't be patient enough to take 4 or 5 yards, and we did the whole way down. They stopped us in the red zone. But that was our philosophy, and that's Philadelphia to me. And they've got enough weapons where it should be great because you've got people that can make plays at all those skill positions.
Yeah, Coach, Philly's offense is boring, just like your offense was. And the biggest difference was it was Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning was so great at reading the safeties and the coverage. And like you talked about, us keeping the safeties back all day, he's running. And that's the difference. As soon as we walk that safety, and all of a sudden it's a play action pass to Marvin Harrison. And that's the difference between, say, a Jalen Hurts and a Peyton Manning, the control at the line of scrimmage, anticipating those safeties and making sure that they're in the right call. And that's what Peyton did better than anybody.
But Jack, I don't believe it's too simple. I don't think the problem is the philosophy. That philosophy took him to the Super Bowl last year. It's the execution. For some reason, it's not being executed this year. Rodney hit on their offensive line, maybe not being as dominant, but still, there's something a little bit off in their execution here.
What would you think it is, Coach? I know, like, you would know this better than anybody probably on earth. I mean, is it mostly the quarterback getting you to the right thing? Is it the offensive coordinator telling him to get the ball to? I mean,
no, it's the quarterback. The quarterback has the final say at the line of scrimmage. A lot of these are RPOs. He can hand the ball off, or he can throw that one-on-one slant that Rodney's talking about. And what do you decide to do? You've got to make the good decisions, and you got to get it to your playmakers.
Guys, I noticed one thing too, and so the other day I'm watching a game, and they talk about Jalen Hurts, and Michael Jordan's at the game, and he's part of this. I guess Jalen Hurts is part of the Jordan brand. And then all of a sudden, I'm thinking, is Jalen Hurts trying to be like Michael Jordan, almost to the point where he doesn't allow distractions on his team to alter what he wants to do? He's not going to allow the wide receiver being upset to force him to throw the ball to him. It just seems like he's in that Jordan mode where he's not going to allow anything to affect him, mentally or emotionally. And I think that's something that's real, because you see Jalen Hurts, he's just a different guy. He kind of has those mannerisms like Jordan. He kind of has those responses like Jordan. But when I have a guy like A.J. Brown, at the end of the day, A.J. Brown's going to help us win another Super Bowl. Get him the football, keep him happy, and then just pay attention to what you're doing. If you got Robertson, or one of those guys, out there, man, there's no way those guys can stick A.J. Brown. Just get him the football and let him work.
It's an interesting take that you have, though, because Jordan was always tough on his teammates. I mean, he had a different rapport with his teammates, but he was Michael Jordan. I mean, he was the best player in the world by a mile, right? And so he had some leeway with some of that stuff. And also football, a very different style of team game than basketball is, to me.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.